what I want to do is I want to see if any of these are or are not a factor of this fourth degree polynomial. And what I want to do is I want to take a possible solution. A solution, if x plus 4 is a factor, would be x equals negative 4. This solution would be x equals negative 3. This solution would be x equals 5. And this solution would be a little tricky. If you were to set it equal to 0, this solution would be 4x equals negative 3. X would equal negative 3/4. I might make that negative 0.75 if I'm going to use a calculator. Now, to find out if this is a factor or not, you take this and you plug it in to each x value and see if it equals 0. If this is a factor, this is a 0. If this is a factor, this is a 0. If this is a 0, an answer or a root, when I plug it in, it should cancel everything out and become equal to 0. So I'm going to set up a template. Whoops, instead of 4x, I'm going to put 4 parentheses to the fourth minus 21 parentheses cubed minus 46 parentheses squared plus 219 parentheses plus 180. And I ran out of room, so I guess I'll throw it down here. And now I'm going to plug in negative 4 to each of these parentheses. Negative 4, negative 4, negative 4, negative 4, and nothing can be plugged into 180, so it just stays there. You might want to use a calculator for some of these. So basically all I'm going to do is figure out what negative 4 to the fourth is. Negative 4 to the fourth is 256, and then I multiply that by 4, and that gives me 1024. So this first quantity is 1024. You can start to tell that this is not going to be a quick problem. So then I take negative 4 and I cube it. So I'm going to take negative 4 cubed, and that's negative 64. Negative 64 times negative 21. And that's going to give me 1344 plus 1344. Now I'm going to take negative 4 squared. That's 16 times negative 46. 16 times the negative 46. And that's going to give me negative 736 minus 736. Now I'm going to do 219 times negative 4. 219 times negative 4, and see what that equals. Negative 876, and then plus 180 right there. It's already tagging along. So I'm just going to enter these values in and see if it equals 0. We can only hope. 1024 plus 1344 minus 736 minus 876 plus 180, 936. 936 is not equal to 0. So that means x plus 4 is not a factor. X plus 4 is not a factor. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to set it up. 4 parentheses to the fourth minus 21 parentheses to the third minus 46 parentheses squared plus 219 parentheses plus 180 down at the bottom here. Now I'm going to plug in negative 3 into each of these parentheses and see if it equals 0. So negative 3 to the fourth That's going to give me 81. 81 times 4 81 times 4. That's 324, the first number up here. 324. Now I'm going to do negative 3 cubed. That's going to give me negative 27 times negative 21. So 21 times 27, 576. Positive 576. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. 9 times negative 46. 9 times negative 46. That shall give me 414, negative 414. And then negative 3 times positive 219. Negative 3 times 219. That gives me negative 657. Negative 657. Let me do this arithmetic problem. I'm not forgetting about the positive 180. So let me add these all up and see what I get. 324 plus 576 minus 414 minus 657 plus 180 and 1322. No patois, that is not a solution. 1323, I'm sorry, 1323. That means this is not a solution. Let's see if 5 is a solution. So I'm going to plug 5 into this big, long polynomial. So 4 parentheses 5 to the 4th minus 21 parentheses 5 cubed minus 46 times 5 squared plus 219 times 5 plus 180. Let me see if that one works. I'm testing 5 now. I'm testing 5 to see if that's going to equal 0 when I plug it into this big polynomial. 5 to the 4th, 625 times 4, 2,500. These are some big numbers, 2,500. 5 to the 3rd is 125. 125 times negative 21. Negative 21 times 125. Some of the numbers I know off the top of my head, so I do them in my head. That's negative 2625. Negative 2625. 5 squared is 25. 25 times negative 46. 25 times negative 46. That's going to give me negative 1150 minus 1,150. And then 219 times 5. 219 times 5. This is kind of tough to do without the aid of a calculator. Positive 1095 plus 1,095 plus 180. And now I'm going to enter these across. So that's going to give me 2,500 minus 2625 minus 1150 plus 1095 plus 180, 0. Yes, x minus 5 is a factor of this polynomial. X plus 4 is not. X plus 3 is not. X minus 5 is a factor of that because the solution, or the 0, is 5. When I plug 5 into all these variables, you get 0. Now let's try negative 0.75 and see if that gives us a solution or not. So I'm going to plug negative 0.75 into this big polynomial. I'm going to put parentheses in every spot. So that's going to give me 4 parentheses to the 4th minus 21 parentheses cubed minus 46 parentheses squared plus 219 parentheses plus 180. And now I put in negative 0.75, negative 0.75, negative 0.75, negative 0.75. This is not a very quick problem. 4 parentheses, negative 0.75 close parentheses, to the fourth, minus 21 parentheses, negative 0.75, close parentheses, to the third, minus 46 parentheses, negative 0.75, close parentheses, squared, plus 219 parentheses, negative 0.75, close parentheses, plus 180. Let's see if that's zero. I entered the whole thing in at once. Zero. That means 4x plus 3 is a factor. These bottom two are factors. These top two are not factors.